Thanks for being part of the show today, and welcome back to our second segment of our interview as we assess Nigerian macroeconomic environment in 2025, particularly as it has been characterized by both resilience and significant challenges. Joining me all the way from Economic Institute here in Abuja is Dr. Oluseye Ajuwon. A very good day to you, Prof. Very good day to you, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Very well. I can hear you clear.
Okay.
All right. Can we go ahead?
Yes.
All right. So, Prof, right now in the next 15 minutes, CBN MPC communique will be released. What are you expecting from that communique? What do you want to see differently? Or you want to see you already maintain status quo that we saw in the first quarter of 2025?
Actually, for now, I think it is better that the status quo is maintained because the inflation is dropping, but we need to look at which area the inflation dropping, fix, the way the economy is performing. So I think for now, I'm expecting the status quo to be maintained. I'm not expecting any increase. Neither should there be any decrease for now, because to bring about any decrease now, it might be too premature. So I'm expecting that it will be the status quo will be maintained for now.
Very interesting. And a lot of economists like you are also suggesting that the status quo should be maintained. But on the part of manufacturers, business owners, they are saying they want a reduction. What do you think about that?
Well, on their side, I agree with them. I understand with them, and that's what they will be asking for. But the truth is this: we don't. It's like somebody that is pregnant. You now say because the woman is feeling some pains and things like that, so the baby should come out prematurely. If you allow that, all the effort the woman had done, maybe carrying the baby for almost 7 months, will be jeopardized. So if a woman has carried a baby for 7 months and is now remaining 2 months or thereabouts, I think the best bet would be for the woman to bear the remaining period. So the situation we are now is critical. We've been paying the pain, we've been bearing the pain. And very soon, by next quarter, looking at the way things are happening now, we might say that the interest rate should be reduced. But for now, it will be a premature for the interest rate to be reduced. I really understand with the manufacturing sector. But if you understand the way, what are the things that are bringing about inflation in the economy, then you realize that it will be a premature for the NPR to be reduced now. So the status quo should be maintained. Because when you look at what is bringing the inflation down now, we know that we are already entering into planting and harvesting period. So definitely the food prices will be dropping. Then the price of crude oil, because of the trade war, initiated by Trump, that reduced, the crude oil price. That is what has, majorly reduced the inflation level in Nigeria. But the exchange rate, if you look at the way the exchange rate is performing, you still see that there are still problems with the economy. So it will be premature for the CBN to reduce the NPR now. So exactly. It has to be maintained for now, so that what we need to see, we will see it before the rate can reduce.
Exactly. Now let's quickly take a look at three major issues that have shaped Nigerian macroeconomy in the last 2 years. One of them is the subsidy removal, followed by exchange rate liberalization, and the recent Cardoso-led CBN tightening monetary measures. From your own understanding of all these three reforms, are they really fair to impact Nigerian economy positively, particularly the macroeconomy positively, by the government?
Actually, when you see what happened then, people really don't understand the level where we were by the time this government came in. The government came in at a point where to service the loan. More than 90% of government revenue will be going to servicing the loan. And the implication of that is that definitely government won't be able to pay salary again. So, and if government cannot pay salary again, definitely what we are passing through now is what we'll still be passing through in another way. So what this government did was to actually do the proper surgery that this economy needs. And that's what the people really don't understand. What the government of the day did is to perform the real surgery this economy needs. But with what they have done is the masses that are actually bearing the brunt. But it is, anyhow you look at it, it is what would have still happened. Either way we go, the way the economy was by the time this government came in, there is no two way about it. The masses will suffer. So it's either they go through surrendering to World Bank, that World Bank should come and manage the economy, and definitely what is happening now is what will still happen. So, but it's better that the government of the day is managing the economy well and getting us out of the dungeon that we have put ourselves in this country.
Exactly.
And doing the two together was so painful. The subsidy removal as well as the exchange rate liberalization. But it has to be done when it was done, because we didn't have any choice as of that time. The only alternative we have was, for the government to go into loan with IMF that would now take over and start managing the Nigerian economy.
Exactly. I really love your Prof. I love the perspective you have brought to this, because, as you earlier pointed out, it has to be done, and although the masses suffer for it. But on the other way around, the government also is celebrating some remarkable key indicators, increase, particularly GDP that is now about 3.38, talking about inflation that have eased down to about 23.71, and also they're also talking about an exchange rate that has been moderated between 1,005 to 1,006, which has also cut off the huge difference between for official exchange rate and the black market. They're also talking about unemployment, although very manageable at the point with about 4.3%. And let me not also forget, the government celebrated the over 8 billion trade surplus that they have had just in 2024. So these are all the indications that the government say, okay, because of what they have done, they are very happy. This has brought about these goodies. But on the other hand, the masses are asking the question, when will all this translate to, it nourished 3 square meal for them, a good salary and others for them in this regard?
If I want to address this, I'm going to look at it from both ways. I'm going to look at it from the masses side, which I also belong to. Then I will also address it from the government side too. On the masses side, let me start from that. You see, the truth is this: the masses, we need to start thinking outside the box. That's the gospel truth. We need to start thinking outside the box, because the way things are, there are so many opportunities that are available now. But you have to see the opportunities. If you can't see it, if anybody thinks that things is going to be the way it was, no, it can never ever be the way it was again. So people need to actually wake up and realize that we need to search the opportunities that are presenting itself, and people are taking advantage of that opportunity on a daily basis. But to discover those opportunities, that's why I said that the masses need to start thinking outside the box. Because opportunities will start showing itself, but it is those that can see that will see, and it will never ever be the way it was before. So things are changing, and we need to change with it. Then on the government side, yes, government is now making a lot of, the government purse is now eased now, instead of it being, strained. But what is government doing, to make sure that they ease the pain of the masses? Because believe me sincerely, I love what the government is doing, paying off the debt. We are no more begging for debt forgiveness, but now we are paying. We are, meeting of our obligations, which is a good symbol. And, people have been shouting it all along that what Africa wants is not, begging is that, you know, we manage our economy well, which is what is happening now, so that, you know, we will be respected. And with that, anybody coming into our economy will know that, yes, this economy is now doing well, which is the major thing that we actually need now. Because, believe me sincerely, the rate at which unemployment is rising in Nigeria, it's not encouraging. And what is causing it is that Nigerians, I don't know, by virtue of our culture, we prefer to be importing things. And we don't know that the implication of what we are doing. The implication is that we are creating jobs to where all those goods are coming from at the expense of jobs for our youth, our teeming youth that are, you know, we have, you know, having nothing to do because there are no opportunities. Whatever we are manufacturing, Nigerians do not buy Nigerian made goods. They prefer to buy imported goods. So I don't know, that side, that culture, that what's it called, needs to change. And I don't know what government is doing about that. But believe me sincerely, there is need for government to start looking at that. Government is actually doing a lot of things, you know, to ensure that, you know, if you have ideas, there are loans on all sides, you know, looking at the critical infrastructure that will enhance, you know, productivity to ensure that, you know, they put those critical structures, infrastructure in place. And, you know, people that want to take opportunity of, you know, all these ideas are out there. So masses need to understand that things can never ever be the way it was before, and they need to start looking at, you know, how to do things differently from the way it has been done, you know, all along. Exactly. That's number one. Then government too needs to, you know, buckle up to ensure that, because believe me sincerely, I won't lie to you, masses are actually crying. So government needs to buckle up to see, you know, what they can do to actually ease, you know, the pains of the masses, especially at the state level, because now, you know, so many governors now, you know, they are able to pay off their debts and things like that. But it's not just about paying off the debts. They should also, you know, just as the federal government is doing, they should also make sure that, you know, critical infrastructure, especially roads, electricity, and things like that in their state is improved on. And there should also be, you know, cash flow, cash transfer to the really, really poor, because they need it to be able to get out and start producing. Somebody that has not eaten will definitely not have energy to work. It's true. So there need to be cash transfer in programs on all states, all local governments, to actually look at, you know, the really poor people in the communities, in the society, and, you know, cater for them.
Exactly. Prof, I really want to appreciate you for coming on the show today. It's quite an elaborate and very interesting perspective you have brought to this discussion of assessing Nigerian macroeconomy. It's quite interesting that we don't have much time to deep into that aspect. I still have further questions, that was no much time. But hopefully, maybe we may also have to bring you back so that we can concentrate and look more into Nigerian macroeconomy going forward. Thank you so much, Prof.
Well, you're welcome.
All right, thank you. Now,